Hi everyone, Pastor Stewart here from Trinity United Methodist Church in Southport. Thanks for watching. What's next? This past Sunday, we began a sermon series entitled, What's Next? In some ways, we are all asking that question. We are all wondering if some stressful or even catastrophic event will happen again during 2020. Truth is, it has been another week of turmoil in our land, and again we are asking that question, what's next? Well, on this beautiful fall day in Southport, with questions and concerns and frustrations on our mind and heart, we need some good news. So listen to the prophet Zechariah, to the exiles in Babylon. This is what the Lord of Heaven's armies says. You can be sure that I will rescue my people from the east and from the west. I will bring them home again to live safely in Jerusalem. They will be my people, and I will be faithful and just toward them as their God. That is Zechariah 8, verses 7 to 9. You hear what it said? God is faithful. Great is God's faithfulness. As we pray and trust God's faithfulness, I also want to share what's next for Trinity United Methodist Church as we continue to plan our in-person worship. The good news is that this Sunday, our worship services will be open for 25 people who register. We will hold our 9 o'clock contemporary service and our 11 o'clock traditional service, and we are opening up for the first 25 people who register. And you can go to our website at www.southporttrinityumc.com or our Church Center app, which can be downloaded in the Google Play Store or your Apple App Store. Both services will continue to be live streamed via Facebook Live, as we have been doing since all of this pandemic started. A few things you will need to know as you come. 1. Part of the registration process at this time includes answering questions to which we've all become accustomed. For example, have you been to a hotspot in the last 14 days? Have you been around someone with COVID? Do you feel bad, or do you have a temperature? Second, those who attend will be required to wear a mask during the entire service. We are also asking that you maintain social distancing. We have seats in row that are spread out, and every other pew is roped off. Of course, families will be able to sit together, but we hope that people will sit on opposite ends of the pews. 3. One of the changes for this week is that we can now sing, although softly. John Wesley, the founder of Methodism, encouraged the people called Methodists to sing lustily. But we are requesting you to sing very softly, again while staying masked. Again, we want to ask that you sing softly and speak the prayers softly. We will be led by a trio in the choir loft, but the actual choir will be pre-recorded and shown on the screen. There are no hymnals or bulletins, and it will probably be that way for a long time, to be honest. Pastors and praise team will be masked when they are not on stage. The first rows of worshipers will be far enough away from the stage area to make it safe for everyone. We will have a time for offering, but we will not pass the plates or baskets. These beautiful boxes, like this one, will be located at the doors, and we ask that offering be put in there. As you can perhaps imagine, our offerings are down a little bit since we haven't had our in-person worship. Yet ministry and life change has continued, and your giving is appreciated and needed. You can continue to give through our website or by sending a check to the address below. You know, last night we held a new members class outside at Ellen Dorsett's pole barn. In our introductions, I shared with the class that I had been in ministry for 34 years, and that's hard to believe. I also told them that the last 6 months have been the hardest, and that is true. Of course, there have been some difficult things, but these past 6 months have just been hard. One of the reasons for that, I believe, is that before now, I have been able to come to the church building where I can feel God's presence and been able to stand next to people to worship and know that I was not alone going through these things. The act of being together was always encouraging. Yet during this time, we have not had this. We are slowly and safely headed in that direction though. It will be a long time before we can have as many people together as we did earlier this year. Yet, as we work towards it, and for those who feel comfortable doing so, we can begin to gather. For those who are not comfortable with that, we can gather virtually, and we trust that God's Spirit is not reliant on where we are, because God is with us always. You know, as I have said before, I am tired of all this. It is getting tiring. Yet we are taking small steps, and I believe we are headed in the right direction. It is not fast enough for some, too fast for others. But we are seeking to do the best we can and continuing to burst forth with Christ's love for all people. What's next? God will see us through because God is faithful, and that is enough. Thanks be to God.